Still trying to throw the ball. On first and goal, second and goal. Panicking at third. Fourth, I'm wishing for a muff.
Welcome to the 5-1 Huddle podcast. It's your host Isaiah with Coach D Lane. Excited for this podcast today. It's Friday night, 7 p.m. We're recording, dropping it Monday at 6 a.m. We got our guests in the house. We got Nick Nelson, quarterback from the Oakland Raiders. How you doing today, bro?
What's going on? Appreciate you coming on the show, Nick, man. Yeah, this is big. We've been waiting for this pod right here. You know, with the season around the corner, camp coming up, everything coming up. We was really excited to get this going for our Raider fans.
Definitely, man. Definitely. So, this pod, we're going to talk it up with Nick. We got quick NFL takes, and you're going to enjoy this podcast. One thing I was thinking this week going on before we get started was after the draft is over, and I was like, D-Lane, we don't have nothing really to training camp. We got OTAs. July going to be dry. Like, I was so excited for the draft, and then the draft happened, and it's like, cool, like, we got to, so, but we're gonna get it going. So, we're going to start off, Nick. First of all, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. What about you?
I'm doing great, man. It's Friday. I'm feeling good. I know you guys are going through what? Rookie mini camp just started. You guys have been having voluntary workouts, right? So how you feeling about this upcoming season for yourself personally?
Me personally, year 2 is a big year, so I feel like I set high expectations for myself. So I feel like I'm gonna have a good season this year.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I remember Raiders drafted you last year. First thing I remember, Jamal, my roommate, for the listeners I don't know, played in college with Nick at Hawaii before he went to play at Wisconsin. But your final year at Wisconsin, you led the nation in pass breakups, and I believe you hold a Wisconsin record for pass breakups. So yeah, we know you could for sure you could cover guys. So what year are you trying to add to your game? You think to just take it to the next level in your second year?
I feel like more just catching the ball. I was playing off athleticism. I've been working on my technique, and I feel like it'll take me a long way. Just my technique and catching the ball, making better plays on the ball.
That's good to hear, Nick. I just wanted to piggyback a little bit back into your college career. What made you want to do that transition from Hawaii to Wisconsin?
I wanted to play on a bigger level, and then I feel like if I did what I did at Hawaii and the Big Ten, I feel like it would have been a better chance of me getting drafted, and I wanted to compete against one of the best conferences.
Okay.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, what was the major difference from playing at Hawaii to Wisconsin that you noticed? Was anything different as far as like the athletes or the gameplay? What was the biggest difference to you?
To be honest with you, in the Big Ten it was less pass, but I say the Big Ten. I say we played in some of the biggest stadiums. Like the stadiums we played in were bigger than the NFL stadium, so you got that real college atmosphere. But other than that, ball is ball, but you got to do a little bit more tackling too, and then you go. It's always a first rounder. You're gonna be playing against some first rounders in the Big Ten, so I say the competition was a little bit different. But at the same time, the Mountain West, you would have a first rounder, but it's definitely a first rounder almost on every team you play in the Big Ten. So that's probably the only difference.
I see.
With your time in college playing for two different school programs and two different systems, did you prefer man or zone? Because we see your numbers really spiked and you did real well at Wisconsin.
I like playing man, but to be honest with you, the defenses weren't really that much different from my freshman year and my junior year. The defense, my freshman year at Hawaii and my junior year at Wisconsin, the defense was pretty much the same. It just was different terms. Where in my sophomore year it was still man, but it was just a little bit different. But I was always playing man. I never really played zone.
Okay. And I know last year Raiders moved you to the inside, to the nickel position. Was that your first time having that experience inside the slot? Did you play any of it at all in college?
Well, in college, I played in the slot only when I cover somebody in the slot man to man. But other than that, I never really actually played nickel.
Yeah.
But,
so how was that transition, especially on NFL level? And that's why I play that mostly in my playing days inside the box at the nickel position.
Yeah, the nickel position pretty hard because it's so much you got to know. You got to be able to read, run, pass. You got to be able to see what number 2 is doing, read 2 to 1, or it's a lot where, but the more you study, like towards the end of the season, I started to get better at it. I started to pick up the position. So, it wasn't
funny,
really.
It ain't funny
really,
being inside. I thought it was always fun because you involved in the run game, like you said, and you involved in the pass game.
It is, but you cover. I think you cover less though.
Yeah,
when you at corner, I feel like corner is easier mentally, but it's harder physically because you literally you out there on the island. Where I feel like that's more fun because you ain't thinking, you just playing. You out there 1-on-1, me against you, against your best receiver.
Okay.
I feel like nickel now in the league is like almost a separate position. Like your team is like you have nickels, like guys that literally just play nickel. I'm drafting you just to play nickel, and I feel like now you feel like with playing nickel last year that your game has expanded, so like you can play inside and outside now.
Yeah, cause it had you blitz, it had you cover, and then it's sometimes you back there in like the deep half or whatever. So. Really, nickel is just showing how versatile you can be, So really, I can really get back there and play safety, or I can get out there and play corner, and at the same time, you can cover in the slot and blitz and play zone.
During your time in college, can you give me like the toughest receiver you think you faced and quarterback as well, one at a time?
In college?
Yeah. Toughest receiver you faced 1-on-1, and then toughest quarterback you had to prepare for in college.
I'd probably say the toughest receiver I ever went against in college was I'd probably say John Ross from Washington.
That's me.
Yeah, I played against him my freshman year. We lost to him 14-13. He scored both of their touchdowns. I covered him a few plays, but I haven't really I ain't cover him a lot. But from just like the few plays of me covering him and just watching him, like speed kills, and it's hard to check somebody that's running that fast.
Yeah. Okay. What about quarterback?
The best quarterback I played in college. I played a lot.
In that Big Ten.
Yeah.
In the Big Ten, who we played? Easy, JT Barrett.
Oh yeah.
JT Barrett. This man,
What school was that against?
Ohio State.
JT Barrett. He like a running back, but at the same time he could throw the ball. Especially every time they played us, he had he put on a clinic tape almost like every time he played us, because it's like he'd run the ball, he'd get it with his feet if it's not there downfield, and if it is there, he's making the throw every time. So I feel like with JT Barrett, you had to be on our A game in the back end and up front.
I know you said speaking of speed, I know last year when I played the Chiefs, do you feel there was a difference of speed between Tyreek Hill and Ross? Would you say like Tyreek was faster in that way, or he's just as dynamic?
So the thing is, when I checked John Ross, I checked him a few plays, and he might have been a decoy route, but he wasn't. I think he wasn't getting the ball, so I don't think he was running as fast. We're like, I was checking Tyreek this year, and Tyreek he was running probably because it was from my freshman year to it was so long ago. I don't know. I can't really tell you because I played against John Ross this year and I seen how fast he was running. So I really couldn't say they both can go.
Yeah, that's real speed right there.
You can't coach that. You can't coach that at all.
Yeah, they both can go. Both of them.
What do you think you and your game brings to the table for DC Paul Gunther? Because we know he like his DBs to come up and tackle, and he got an aggressive defensive scheme. What do you think you bring to the table?
I think I can bring everything to the table. I feel like I can just get the job done. I can play man. I can play zone. I can go inside, go outside, and just basically whatever he want me to do, I can do it. If he want me to learn this, I learn it. He want me to go out there and cover this person, I'll do it, and I do it just as good. So I feel like I bring a lot to the table. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean I agree. I've seen a lot of different reports I've been reading around just from writers beat writers for the Raiders. They got you circled in as the nickel coming into the year. So I mean, that shows that what they hearing is that you're gonna have to be that guy this year. Like since you came in the NFL, I know it's been a learning curve from college. Is there one player you felt like in the NFL that's helped you learn and grow since entering?
I got one player. I could probably say a few.
Yeah.
Cause we had vets like 10, 12-year vets, like players that been playing since I was in elementary school. But you just watch how they carry themselves. Like Leon Hall, Reggie Nelson, Marcus Gilchrist, all those guys. It's a lot. I can go on and on. I can even say Beast Mode, just how he carry himself on and off the field. But just watching them, all of them bring something different. That's why they all was in the league for so long. So I can't just say one person.
I feel like that's unique to be around that many vets, especially like Reggie, who's been, I feel like he been in the league since I said elementary as well.
A guy that led the league in interceptions before.
Oh yeah, with the Raiders we won a year. He made a Pro Bowl, and I remember him playing at Florida. That's when he was just like a freak.
Yep.
And so I mean, Reggie, he definitely put up some good years.
Is that Nick? Was you were back last year for the Steelers game?
Yeah, I played.
Yeah, I know it was later in the season. I know I wanted to ask you about your new teammate you got with Antonio. How was that process? You got to see it firsthand because you played against him. What separates him and really makes him great on that field when y'all got a chance to play against that man?
I'd probably say he good all around. He can do it all. He can go deep.
And the Raiders won that game too.
He can go deep. He can catch a screen. He can take a screen 90 yards. He got it all. So don't blink. He'll make you pay.
Okay.
So yeah.
Do you feel like coming into the season? I mean, you got to go against, I know, like in camp in the beginning of the season against Mark Cooper. And I feel like this year the receiving core is really deep. Do you think that helps you guys as a DB unit going against those guys every day?
Definitely. It's only going to get us better.
Yeah.
Think about it. You checking Antonio Brown every day, which is the best receiver in the league. Just think you're going to dominate whoever you playing week in, week out.
Yeah, that's true because, like, I seen this. Like, there's not really much you haven't seen with that type of receiver in there. And I feel like, do you think, also you think like you guys got Terrell Williams, so you get all aspects. You get an AB who can do everything. You get Terrell, that speed guy. You guys are Ryan Grant, JJ Nelson. You guys just got Renfro from Clemson. I'm interested to see how he do. I think he got them grips, them routes for you.
Yeah.
Like you said, we just talking about off air. We talking about Keon Hatcher. He bounced back, had killed it last preseason.
Yeah.
He was balling. It's definitely deep.
Who you think? Go ahead.
I was gonna say you can't sleep on Keon because he runs some good routes. Yeah, Keon can go. Like he can go. I'd say that.
I feel like I like how he's a true hands catcher too. That shows a lot. Like a receiver, like everything.
Catch the ball away from his body.
Away from his body. And like I said, I mean, ball last preseason. And I think he played a few games this year as well.
Yeah.
Last season, Nick, we know you had like a small sample size as far as how many games you got to play. But who you think was the quickest guy you faced in the slot?
Tyreek Hill.
It gotta be Tyreek.
It gotta be Tyreek. Yeah.
Like I think if you think that's crazy, like you probably went against the two fastest humans in the NFL.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure there's guys that's like practice squad that run crazy but just don't have the skills. But like, that's crazy.
It definitely Tyreek.
Can you? We usually ask just about every DB that come on here. Can you give us your all-time secondary? We need nickel, left corner, right corner, 2 safeties.
You said all-time secondary?
Your all-time secondary.
Yeah, from any era, your all-time. Like,
yeah.
From any era?
Yeah. If you're gonna pick it to your perfect secondary.
I say you said 2 corners and 2 safeties?
2 corners, 2 safeties, and a nickel back.
Yeah.
2 safeties, I say Sean Taylor.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
And another safety, Sean Taylor, and you gotta go Ed Reed.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
just
so
gotta go Ed
I mean,
Reed.
it's tough.
Unless
It's
you're gonna
great
go
players.
Ronnie, but I was
gotta go with
that.
Ed
Your boy Ed,
I agree. That's you got.
That's
you got
nice
the hitter,
though.
You got the Ed. That's
Yeah, I
tough.
was just gonna say you got
Ed
your
Reed.
free and you got that boy in the box.
And Sean can do everything. Sean can
Yeah,
go
he
back there
can.
too.
And then at the corners, I say Revis. I love Revis.
Oh yeah.
I say Revis. I say Revis. Reeves, Pat Pete, and with me on the inside.
I like it.
that.
I like it.
I like that.
You gotta say what's up.
But you being disrespectful.
Yeah.
How you ain't gonna put Prime on there? That's
I ain't gonna lie,
blasphemous.
but I ain't gonna lie. Like I never even really watched Prime on
That's
film.
not fair.
We did.
But
I
I seen a few highlights, but I never really got a chance to watch him on film.
Yeah.
Like it's like Jordan. I never really watched Jordan play. I just know,
Yeah.
I never really watched Prime. But like everybody's like every older. It's like every older person loves Prime, but I never watched him, so I can't sit here and say.
Only thing I was gonna say for the Raider fans, they probably wouldn't hear C Wood, but you know,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
listening to
Him too, but you got to throw Sean Taylor in there.
No, you got to. I
Yeah.
mean, I feel like everyone said,
or you could say B and Reeves on the outside with C Wood.
Yeah,
and-
I
that's
always
definitely
put C with him on nickel
Yeah.
him or
Nick-
Badger.
I mean,
I had Badger
still,
in there.
still
Reeves
Reeves and Pat P. I mean, Pat P. I feel like he's more like since he came in the league, he was down from day one. You know what I'm saying?
For
He
sure.
do it all.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
only person like when I think of, I agree with the safeties. That's basically what I had mine. I just had C Wood and I had Champ and Reeves on my outsides. I used to watch Champ Bailey with the Broncos, but most of the DB people we ask is coaches or
Yeah.
former DBs
I
that used to
had,
play.
I had Prime and Seawood on the
Seawood,
outside. I
yeah.
had Badger on the inside.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The I mean, y'all secondary, y'all deep this year. Secondary,
real deep.
yeah, deep and lengthy. Y'all got it all sides. So I'm excited to watch the secondary. When's OTA start for you guys?
in about 3 weeks.
3 weeks, and then after OTA, that's when y'all get a long break before camp, right?
Yeah, like a month, like
Month.
a month, like probably like a little bit over a month. and
During,
then,
during that month, how do players approach it? Do they take it like more as a resting period for the long season, or is it still like, I'm preparing for that season?
it's however you
Yeah.
prepare.
How are you gonna approach it this year? Do you
I
know?
go hard. Like
Yeah.
I go hard. I listen to my body though, but other than that, I go hard. Like I'm trying to. At the end of the day, you gotta be in shape. You getting ready for the season. Like it ain't playtime, so I go hard.
I feel like it's probably different too. Like you're a guy, like you're young in the league, so you trying to get that second contract, do it all. And I feel like maybe you like a 12-year guy or Pilates, stretching, doing all that for the season for camp. Do you feel camp was camp harder for you in the league or in college?
Be honest with you, college was harder because last year I was coming off an injury.
Yeah.
And I ain't really practiced that much. I played a lot in the preseason, but I ain't even really practiced that much in camp. Like it'll be days where I probably get like 8 reps,
Okay.
and then
So you get back 100%.
yeah, and then like after that first preseason game, it was still kind of the same, but it's just when we got to the preseason game, they played me a lot, so.
Evaluating you, man. They always evaluating. What's some personal goals for yourself, and then what's your expectations for the team the next season?
Personal goals, like I said high expectations. I want to be all pro. I want to lead the league in interceptions. Like, I want that C Wood, like how he led in touchdowns. Like I just want to be an impact on the field wherever I'm at. That's my mindset going into practice, going into meetings. Whenever I want to be the best player on the field.
Yeah.
And then for the team, Super Bowl, like Super Bowls.
Super Bowl bust.
Yeah, like just bring them home. Super Bowls, like.
I mean, I'll say that'd be great for Oakland going out, see that last year, man.
Definitely.
Bring something home.
Definitely.
Especially that Coliseum is like legendary. So much stuff happened. So I don't know what's gonna happen with it after they leave. You think they're gonna tear it down? Or keep
One
it
thing
up?
I've been hearing, supposedly they're supposed to tear it all down because the A's want to move by Jack London somewhere,
Okay.
and they're supposed to be turning that lot into like a sports complex
Yeah.
with multiple fields. and different
Warriors, Chase Center,
Yeah.
ready to leave to Vegas.
Yeah.
I had a good thing I say for the players going to Vegas, no income tax, man, some more in your
Yeah,
pocket. So
man.
that's,
Definitely.
Keep some
that's a good
OGs.
thing. And that's
Definitely.
also going to help free agency, everything. Like, because, a lot of free agents go to Florida, Texas, none of that. So, I'm happy for the players of Vegas. And you get, we this Bay Area, this went crazy. I know players be coming from, like, different states and, like, look at the.
That's all I was just gonna ask you. How you like the Bay so far? You like it?
Be honest, I like the Bay.
What's the spot you were saying that you always eating that you like?
Soul food. I go to Touch of Soul and I go to Lena's.
Oh, yeah.
I go to both of
I
them.
heard
Depending on
Yeah,
if I want some seafood, I go to Touch of Soul.
Okay.
If I want like some oxtails or or like some good, like something that'll put me to sleep, I go to Lena's.
What's your favorite spot back home to eat at?
Back home,
Yeah.
it's a spot called Lido's. It's a pizza place.
Okay.
They got like big square pizza. Yeah, that's probably my favorite.
So
Lido's.
East Coast pizza probably crazy, like good.
I won't say East Coast. I say New York pizza.
New York, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but
In that area, I had the best pizza over there
from
too.
being from Maryland, do you consider that's DMV? I consider yourself East Coast, right? Or,
it's East Coast DMV.
Yeah. When I think of East Coast, I think of DMV, like Philly, Jersey, New York. That's what I think. Yeah.
But basically East Coast is really considered like up north, and then you got like the states from like North Carolina down.
They consider themselves
Consider the South.
South, yeah, okay, that's what I think. Cause is Texas considered the South?
Yeah, that's definitely the South.
Okay, yeah, so I've been Texas, New Orleans. You was in Louisiana, so you was deep.
I've been to I've been to Baltimore. I've been to DC. That's
What's
the DMV
I stay
area,
I stay right
DC?
outside. Yeah, I stay right outside of DC.
Okay.
Did
Yeah,
you
I was there before.
like coming out of that area, was like Maryland like a dream school for you, or did you want to get out your area?
Be honest, no.
You went far. You went to
Be honest. I really wanted to go to University of South Carolina because that's where I'm originally from.
Okay. The
And
Gamecocks,
then,
right?
Yeah, and then I started getting recruited by Rutgers, and then that's when I want to go to Rutgers.
Okay.
But
I
they
liked
never
them back when they had Ray Rice.
They never offered me, but Temple ended up offering me.
Okay.
They offered me, but they pulled it. And
Yeah.
then I had a lot of like small schools. Then Hawaii out of nowhere came and offered me.
But it seemed nice if you think about like, excuse me, you end up at the top school, like, and at the end of the day in Wisconsin, like, far as like, top competition, like you saying, and you got to live in Hawaii for a year, like, not too many people would say Hawaii.
Yeah, living in Hawaii was different. You meet a lot of people. You meet people from places you never even heard of. Like, I met this girl. She told me she was like a girl in my class. She said she was from like Saipan. I'm like, I never even heard of Saipan.
Me neither. I'm like,
Me
where's
either. I don't know.
Saipan. It sounds like I'm thinking it's like Japan or somewhere, but I don't know. I ain't never.
No, you heard of that?
No.
Okay,
It's called.
Bro, what you asking Nugent?
He's from Vietnam.
Yeah.
He might know.
Yeah,
My boy.
somebody, the girl told me she was from Saipan. Like, I was like, yeah.
No, that is crazy. I mean, that's a good thing with football. I take you everywhere. Here in the Bay. Yeah, as you see, he eating good at all the spots. Have you traveled around the Bay yet, or you just been? Like,
I've been all over the Bay.
Okay.
We got a Beast Mode restaurant. Beast Mode restaurant is straight. We did we did one of our shows there a couple weeks ago.
The chicken good.
His I think it was his aunties or somebody. They came for all the rookies. They cooked for us.
Okay.
They had like a bunch of food catered for us. And
Shrimp grits over there go crazy. They probably
they ain't even had it. They just had the basic. They had just the
Probably because so many people.
Yeah, they just had like chicken and fish and just the basic.
Okay, that's good. But, all right, Nick, I appreciate you coming on, talking to us.
Yep.
Definitely, man. Definitely appreciate you, family. Appreciate that.
You already know, dude. This was this season, man. I hope the best for you and the team. Put on for the town. I mean, we good. All right, so we had this week in the NFL. Me and D-Lane will give you our quick takes. We had a few things went on. The Tyreek Hill situation took another turn. We had some local news as far as just fifth-year options. Carl Joseph will not be his fifth-year option picked up. But over the week, I was just thinking, bold predictions I have for the season about a team that will make the playoffs and a team that will miss. So a team that I feel like that will miss the playoffs, that made the playoffs last year, is kind of where I'm going with this. It might be a big shock to people. I'm going with the Rams. I believe the Rams will miss the playoffs for a couple reasons. The biggest one is Gurley. Todd Gurley, I believe, report that they believe his knee will never be the same. If we look at the Rams' success the last two seasons, it was a big part was because of Todd Gurley and Sean McVay. For me, I've never been a Jared Goff believer. From year 2 to 3, it wasn't a big difference. And I think in the Super Bowl, we saw the formula is simple. Their offense is based around trickery and running the ball. So when they run the ball well, they can do all different types of motions to create play action to get guys open. If you just look at their roster, outside of Aaron Donald, and I'll say Todd Gurley, but a healthy 100% Todd Gurley, there's not A+ blue chip players on the roster. You know what I'm saying? So basically, it's going to be Sean McVay hoping to dominate again with that offense, but I don't see it happen this year. D-Lane, what do you think
I
about
don't
it?
think you need a lot of blue chips though, cause your favorite example, you love to go with Bill. He don't do a lot of blue chips in
I can name a blue
in
chip.
New England.
His name Tom
So,
Brady.
yeah, that's just one. I mean, the main guy is the quarterback.
So, but if you're, let me rephrase this. If your main guy is not the blue chip player, I don't believe you can see. Like, look at the Saints offense, right? You got Kamara. I'll say he's blue chip, but Drew Brees been a blue chip piece. They don't have a deep receiving core. They got Michael Thomas, and that's it.
He a blue chip.
Yeah, he's blue chip, but I'm saying, like, they right there off the rip, they have 3 blue chip players on offense, but they're QB, and they don't have a lot of depth anywhere else on offense, but they still dominate. You know, a good O-line. So I don't see how the Rams. To me, Jared Goff had to take the next step. I haven't seen it.
That's why I was gonna go.
He's in year 3, still getting calls on the headset. I feel like you give him this control. If he does not have that control of offense, it's gonna be very vanilla again, and that those motions, all that trickery, won't be able to keep working because it's not based off Robert Woods just beat you on the route. It's based off the defense was asleep and Robert Woods got over the top on the play action. You know, Cooper Kupp I think might be the most talented receiver on the roster, but he was hurt last year, and again he's a possession. Yeah, he's possession receiver. Very good blocker. That's his strength. And the Rams drafted a running back this year, high in the 3rd round, I believe. So to me, that shows a sign right there that they're not sold on Gurley coming back and being 100%. And you know, I know you disagree with this, but I feel like the Rams will not. You know, it's bold, but I don't think they'll make the playoffs this year.
Yeah. Like I said, looking at the division, I got Seattle winning that division. And probably fighting for a wild card spot, even if they don't make it in, would be the Rams and possibly the Niners. I know that was one of your sleeper teams to make the playoffs, right?
Yes.
The Niners. I see improvement on both sides of the ball from the Niners. I really like the squad. I like what Lynch and Shanahan are building over there. I still got question marks on the secondary, but they got some good young, long, athletic, rangy players on the back end. Where else do I got question marks for them? My main question mark with them is the quarterback. That's the only reason why I can't put them in the playoffs yet. I'm still not sold on Jimmy G, just mainly off the fact that I got to see him hold up for 16. I haven't seen it in this short time, in this short career.
I agree with you that's the biggest question mark with Jimmy. But I seen with a team that won 1 game and traded for him, he won 6 straight games. So I seen what Jimmy, and my biggest thing is Kyle Shanahan. Like
I could argue,
Shanahan. I could argue if you replace Kyle Shanahan with the Rams, Kyle Shanahan make the Rams look better in better situation. He hasn't had a QB the 2 years he's been there. He had QB for 6 games.
Can you say that? You know what Goff. I'm saying you know what Goff gonna have to do in his system. He's gonna have to make reads. He ain't gonna get the call.
I seen Kyle Shanahan make Nick Mullen look good.
No, he
as a backup. Like Nick Mullen is a career. He's gonna have a 10, 12-year career as a backup now because of Kyle Shanahan. And so I just look at it. Even this is how I believe in Kyle Shanahan this much. He won 6 games with Jimmy G with no bad receiver. At that time, it was no George Kittle. You gotta remember, it was no George Kittle at that time when they won those games. So now with George Kittle, with the receivers they added with Deebo Samuel, they added McKinnon as well as Coleman in the offseason in the run game. There's weapons now all over. Pettis is going to be in year 2.
That was his boy from Atlanta. I always liked Tevin Coleman too. Him and McKinnon be a good one too.
Exactly.
Like I said, I still
and then Jalen Hurd he's 6'4" and can move, play running back, very versatile. So I believe you're gonna look at the offense. You're gonna have Pettis. You're gonna have Deebo Samuel. You're gonna have I believe Hurd's gonna play in the slot a lot.
I can see them having a top 10 offense next year. That's a bold prediction. Yeah. I can see that for the Niners.
So I feel like their offense, and there's 2 things. I look back at, for example, the Raiders 2016 season. If you look at that season, their offense was lighting it up. Everyone but the D-line was terrible, but then they're getting sacks, and then sacks turn into turnovers. So I believe the Niners might have the best D-line in football with. You're going to have Buckner, who's an all-pro type level player. You got Armstead, who's a good starter. You got D Ford, double-digit sack guy. And you're going to expect Bosa to at least get you 7 to 10 sacks in his first year. So they could have the best D-line in football. So
not better than my Eagles, though. Let's not go here, but go ahead. Finish your point.
The Eagles D-line strength by numbers, you know, with Fletcher Cox, who's top 3 D tackle.
Especially if my boy Long comes back.
I just bring that point. If you're lighting up on offense, teams have to pass, and if you have a good D line, they can dominate and give you the ball back. So I believe they take a step. I believe the Niners take that Rams spot next year, It's bold, but I'm sticking with it. I believe the Niners will make the playoffs over the Rams.
For me, my team that probably missed the playoffs that made it last year, I had a couple options here. I had Dallas and Chicago down, but the main one I really feel, if I had to pick one, I got the Ravens missing the playoffs, just because I still see the Steelers being a factor in that division. They got a good young front seven. I think Ben is determined to have a good year. He got a Y.
So, quick
Definitely
question.
have a good season.
So you believe you just casually saying the Browns is a lock playoff team next year?
And that's what I was going to get to. So I got the Browns ahead of Baltimore in that division, but I still got to see the coaching. That was my question mark for them as far as how far they can go. I'm not gonna say I'm not a believer in the coaching. I have to see more. They did turn it around. Baker did look good under Kitchens and the last 7-8 games that they were playing together. So but I got them leapfrogging Baltimore, and then another first short team I can't see making the playoffs is Chicago, just off the fact that I think Green Bay is gonna take that next step or get back into that picture. They upgraded their D vastly through the draft, and Rodgers is coming back healthy. They got the same question mark the Browns got, though. What's up with the new coach? What's LaFleur about? What is he going to bring to the table? But I don't see Chicago or Baltimore making the playoffs.
I could agree with Baltimore. Like I said, my biggest question with the Browns is the Browns have been a historically bad franchise, not only my whole life, your parents' life, your grandparents' life. They've just been historically bad. So, for me, I'm basically putting my money on that Freddie Kitchens is going to be the guy to turn around. The NFL is a coaching league, so he did well with Baker, but what people catch on is Kitchens going to be able to control all the other things that come with the head coach. Last year was his first year calling plays, and so to me that was a bold move by John Dorsey. It's too many question marks for me to put the Browns as a lock playoff team. And again, I'm one of those people. I'm not a Lamar Jackson's believer. I don't believe you can be successful in the NFL if you're not accurate quarterback. You can make the playoffs, have a couple good years, but I don't think you can be
sustainable.
It's sustainable, and I believe he's gonna get hurt at some point. A lot of quarterbacks get hurt. It's hard to finish the season, but I don't see Lamar Jackson staying healthy. I don't ever see him be an accurate passer. They went and got a lot of short receivers this offseason. They got fast guys. It makes sense. Basically, we're just gonna run. We're coming with speed with our quarterback receivers. It makes sense. They're going all in for him, which they should do. So, but again, Baltimore, I believe in the organization as a whole, and the culture there is set. So I believe they could be always like a 9-17. They're always gonna have defense, and they're gonna be able to run the ball. Too many question marks for Cleveland. But I'll say this: it would be a huge failure for the Browns if they don't make the playoffs. They went all in for this year with Odell from all their signings. So I think they have the talent, they have the QB. I'm a full believer in Baker Mayfield. He wasn't my top. I didn't think it was going to be this good off of year one. Sam Darnold was my favorite QB, but I mean, it speaks for itself with Baker did in year one.
Baker.
So, but yeah, with the Bears, I agree. I believe the defense is too dominant, and Matt Nagy is too good of a coach to miss the playoffs.
And I was just going to say, you saying that, but after year one, all OCs, when they come in with that new offense, you got now it's a whole offseason of DC seeing, okay, what is this new head coach about? Same thing how you had down for McVay, but McVay had a couple seasons now, guys see his offense. But I just see the offensive side taking a step back. I don't see Trubisky taking that next step.
But what the difference is, the Bears have an elite defense, top defense in the league.
Yeah.
The Rams don't.
You still got to be able to put up points.
Yeah, but
the Rams don't. They don't. They can put up points.
And I'll say this, and Matt Nagy's going to find a way to just, if you're the Bears, right, we have to score 21 to 24 points a game. And we have so much offensive talent. The biggest question mark is Mr. Trubisky. If they miss the playoffs, I guarantee you, if they miss the playoffs and it's not like crazy injuries why they miss it, if they miss it because the only way they miss it is Mr. Trubisky is terrible. And I'm not a believer in him. So I believe if he's terrible next year, he will not be the QB past next year. Because it's too many weapons. Hello, Tito. How you doing? My cat just hopped on the table. It's too many weapons. He front and center. It's too many weapons on the Bears, like I was saying, for them to miss the playoffs in my mind. And I'm a believer in Matt Nagy. Andy Reid coaching tree is the best coaching tree in the league, from Doug Peterson to Frank. What's his name? Not Frank. Yeah, Frank Wright with the Colts head coach as well. You got Matt Nagy first year, and his coaching tree is deep.
Let's talk about Dougie P. Let's
Okay,
transition to my team, America's real team. Forget them Cowboys. Man, I hope y'all seen my boys pick up today. We got that linebacker, Zach Brown, second in the league out of the last 3 seasons in tackling to Wagner.
One of the top pass back.
Yeah, man. I definitely feel the void that we needed in backer. We lost Hicks to free agency, and I just see him as I think he's better than Hicks off the fact that he has availability, you know, and that's the best thing you can have as far as a player is being healthy and being available. Hicks missed a lot of games. So I definitely see him filling that void for us. And then I just see Howie and Doug building the team back to how we won the Super Bowl as far as play good D. We're gonna run this ball. We got a crazy rushing attack. We got Jordan Howard. We drafted Miles Sanders.
Yeah, Miles Sanders.
Yeah, a good pass catcher. And then we got a good receiving core. I keep forgetting that we got D-Jack back. We got my boy Kelsey and Dallas Goedert. AJ, Alshon Jeffries,
the rookie JJ Whiteside from Stanford.
Yeah, and you was telling me about him. Pick. So I just see us, man. You know, if I'm being biased, I see us going all the way. But I definitely see us as a top team in the NFC for sure. Yeah. I think our offense is probably a little better than the Saints. I think our defense. I think we got one of the best D lines in the game, if not the best D line. We got my boy Barnett coming back off of an injury. We went and got We got another D tackle. Who was it? Malcolm? No, who did we get? Can't think. We added somebody with Jerrigan and Fletch, though. We had Malik Jackson.
Yeah, Malik Jackson from Jacksonville.
We deep up front, man. And, I see us having a hell of a season this year.
I think the Eagles probably want to have the most, overall, most talented teams if you look at position by position in the NFL. The only team I can think of that's up there is just overall talent every position might be the Bears, but they have a QB.
So the Colts.
Colts.
We're talking about
Colts
them.
is young. Yeah, Colts is young.
And you got them going deep this year.
I think the Colts could go deep. Just speaking of the Colts, just from, I don't know. Like I look at organizations when your owner, your GM, and coach and QB is all lined up. I believe Colin Cowherd talks about it as well. When you have all those pieces lined up, it equals playoffs and barring injury. So. I think the Eagles could return like that, and I think it's weird, but I think Carson Wentz is going to have a really good season. Like barring his thing is kind of like the Jimmy G situation. He just needs to stay healthy. But I feel like it was weird for him having Nick Foles over his shoulder, in a way, because it's always in the back of your mind like you were drafted to be basically what Nick Foles did to get that Super Bowl for Philadelphia. They never got, and so for him to get that, I kind of felt like. Carson Wentz is always looking over at the bench. It's just natural as a human being, regardless. Like, you can know you're better than him. He's a better player than Nick Foles. Nick Foles just had a run. Joe Flacco had a run. A lot of QBs can have a run with a loaded team, like the Eagles were a loaded team. So I believe the Eagles are going to be back at that time. I mean, they were a drop away from being the Saints last year. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Alshon Jeffrey dropped that
pass and go
that pass, yeah. And Nick Foles might have been what they call him, Big Dick Nick.
Man,
hey,
I call him Saint Nick. I love that man.
Hey, he laid out there, man.
Forever. Appreciate that man forever for what he brought for my squad.
Yeah. I mean that's all I got for the day, D-Lane.
Let's we ain't gotta dig too deep in it because it's still an ongoing thing. But how'd you feel? Yeah, how'd you feel about the Ty Hill situation? And did you get a chance to read the letter that he put out through his lawyer?
I read the letter.
Bits and pieces.
So I read the letter. I got two words on it. Just good lawyers. I saw the text message
nice,
what got me. I know people with master's degrees that don't text me that proper. I seen Tyreek talk in interviews and everything. I know for a fact he is not texting his wife like that. I believe she was like, Crystal, I would never hit my child that way. I'm just like, Tyreek, you don't talk like that. First of all, you from South Florida. I mean, you've played with guys from South Florida. I played with guys from South Florida. I don't know what they say. So it's crazy. I mean, you heard guys this in entertainment, Kodak talk. Like, that's how Tyreek talks. And so you're not going to tell me he texts that way. So I just think he has good lawyers, and I think his fiance is trying to play along with the game now because she realized he's not getting that big contract this offseason. He was going to be the highest paid receiver with that contract, and she's just trying to save this whole situation. I think was happening. I believe he did everything that we're being accused of, because he had a record. Like, he pleaded guilty when he pushed his girlfriend down the stairs and strangled her. He pleaded guilty to that. It wasn't no it wasn't no fight back. He said, I did, I messed up. So Tyreek, to me, he's not a good human being.
Why do you think he hasn't been released yet? And I seen one reason.
He's
why.
Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have a top 5 player, top 5 asset, you have a QB that's already looked like one of the best QBs in the league. You're all in. You're trying to win a Super Bowl. Andy Reid is trying to win a Super Bowl, and that's the thing. So that's just in life. It depends how valuable you are to who you work for, to whatever, to your family, anything. Like any guy, like if you're rich,
how much
right?
value do you bring
how much
to the
value?
table?
If I'm a multi-millionaire, I can get away with certain things in a relationship, with friends, with family, that I couldn't if I made $50K a year. That's just the reality. If I'm a top 5 player, top 3 player in the game, and I'm young, I can do certain things in the NFL that I'm not going to get kicked off. Now, if I'm undrafted and backup safety and I do this, I'm released the same day.
Yeah.
If I'm Tyreek Hill, then we're going to do the process. And the way the Chiefs are, they're trying to win now.
Yeah.
So
I take that same position you said as far as his talent. And then another thing I'm trying to take into consideration is the fact that maybe he was upfront and honest about this situation from the jump or whatnot, because we could say the same talent argument for Kareem Hunt, even though running backs come a dime a dozen.
You already know how I feel about running backs.
Yeah.
So that's why he got cut.
Yeah, exactly. But he led the league in rushing, 2 years or his rookie year, and they cut him the next year off of his situation, but mainly because he lied about it and he wasn't up front with Andy in the front office from the jump. So that can also play a factor here. But like me and Zay been saying from the jump, we've been praying, hoping the situation ain't true, and or however that kid, we pray for the kid too, first and foremost. But I just hope the situation isn't true for the young man Tyreek Hill, and I hope he gets a chance to get his money. But if it's true, he got to be dealt with, and he got to take that. Take that on the chin.
I can't have it back with It's one thing to whip your kid, like with the AP thing. Thought it was crazy they suspended him a year for giving his kid the belt.
I grew up like that.
Yeah,
I grew up with them type of ass.
So, but with the actual broken and 3-year-old, like it's different. 3. It's not like 8-year-old. Regardless, you breaking a bone in your child, you something wrong with you. So, but we're gonna leave it at that till the situation all the way unfolds. I'm hoping that for some reason that there's full proof that this stuff didn't happen to his kid. That's what it's all about. Is this kid, Tyreek? He's a football player. But at the end of the day, it matters what type of human you are. So,
do you want to end with you want to go Carl Joseph, or you want?
No, I want to save Carl, because I want to see how OTAs go. I want to see who in that first group.
Oh, okay.
Who in the
we didn't see that
we got
first depth chart.
Group. Yeah, so we got something for y'all next week.
Hopefully our man Nick is in there.
Yeah,
man.
we got a local guest for y'all next week as well, big time. We'll save it for through the week. Make sure you follow us on YouTube at the 511 Huddle. Like, comment, subscribe. SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. And thank y'all. We'll catch y'all next week.
Still went for it. It's time to change it.